This is a $43,000 Subaru WRX.
And this is a $21,000 Subaru WRX.
This car got all the expensive parts.
And this one got all the cheap ones.
And today is no different. We are going to be converting both of these cars to E85, one of the most cost-effective modifications you can do to a car to make more power, baby.
Then we're going to take them to the dyno and see how much power that corn juice really makes.
Oh! No way!
Oh my God.
It is insane. But what the heck even is E85?
E85 is a fuel blend predominantly composed of 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline, tailored especially for use in flex fuel vehicles. Ethanol gives the fuel a higher octane rating compared to standard gasoline. And this higher octane rating allows for increased compression ratios without the risk of detonation.
We love increased compression ratios around here.
On top of all that, E85 contains oxygen, which can make the combustion process more efficient. Engines tuned specifically for E85 can take full advantage of its properties, adjusting ignition timing, air-fuel ratios, and boost levels to extract more power when running on E85 compared to just plain old gas.
However, while E85 can provide more power, baby, gallon for gallon, E85 contains less energy, leading to reduced fuel economy. The advantage in power often comes from the ability to exploit E85's favorable combustion characteristics rather than its inherent energy content. Now, what's it take to put this magic fuel in our cars? You guessed it, parts.
It's a good little group of parts.
I'm not done.
Ooh,
these look nice.
Yeah.
You know when a car part looks like a paintball gun, it's nice. We have new injectors, new fuel rail, new fuel pump, and loads of tubes to convert HiCar, that big orange beast back there, into an E85 sipping monster. What do you have, Nolan?
I got this.
Why am I putting all this crap on my car and you're not putting anything on yours?
Well, as I understand it, a bunch of parts that we installed already, they were already E85 compatible. So all we gotta do is just put this little sensor in here and the computer does the rest.
Wow, accidental foresight. Helps out Nolan again. But because our parts are so much nicer and we have invested so much more time and money into HiCar, our ceiling is way higher. Imagine Nolan's potential for power is like a basement apartment. It stinks and it's wet.
First story.
And our potential for power is a freaking cathedral.
There you go. Like a professional driver.
Let's get it. Come on, me and you, dude.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna get started on wiring. We've got this nice little kit from iWire. It's supposed to be pretty much all plug and play, which is nice. It's gonna be a little time consuming. You gotta route some wires through the cabin, but shouldn't be very difficult. So I'm just gonna get cracking. First things first, we're gonna disconnect the bat tray. Anytime you're doing any wiring stuff on a car, it's a good idea to just go ahead and lose your radio presets. Second thing second, you gotta pull the hair back because it's super annoying. This is our thick power wire, so we gotta get this from the battery back to the fuel pump. I just wanna find a nice clean path. It's not gonna get super hot or melt on the engine or anything. I'm gonna route it under the carpet along the driver's side of the car, and then it'll cut over the back seat to the area that it needs to be. So I'm just gonna go piece by piece and shove it under the carpet. Moving right along. I just gotta figure out where these plugs live, plug them in, and then mount our new controller somewhere nice, out of the way.
Oh yeah. Bye-bye, wires. I hope I never have to see you again. Okay, do your job. Don't burn down. Thank you.
Look at them over there. All those complications, all that money.
Justin, if you keep talking trash, something's bound to go wrong.
This bag represents your current internet browser. It's basic, it's clunky, and it's overloaded with so many tabs, but with today's sponsor, Opera One, your browser will look a lot like this. It's modern, organized, and secure with free ad and tracker blocking. See? It features the first ever fully integrated AI called Aria that can answer questions, generate text or code, brainstorm ideas, and much more, all from the custom sidebar. But what's really cool is Opera's Tab Islands. This innovative feature allows you to group multiple tabs together on a dedicated island. And with one click, they're out of the way until you need them again. So ditch the default browser and download Opera One for free right now, or just click the link below. Super easy day for us. We're just gonna switch a couple fuel lines over, plug in 2 sensors, done. We only have to do 2 bolts. That's it.
Wrench sucks. Along with this flex fuel sensor, we're also installing a fuel pressure sensor, which basically, if it sees a drop in fuel pressure, you know, while you're going around track or whatever, giving it the beans, the computer compensates for that and gives you more juice. It's not a totally necessary sensor to install, but we like to have our bases covered, and we like to have fuel all the time. All right, disconnecting a fuel line is a certified safety glasses moment. Now I'm safe. Here it comes. Okay. That's it. That was it. A lot less pressure than I thought it was going to be. And now, these rags will spontaneously combust.
Call me Mario, so many pipes. Manifold officially off. Ammo off. So I'm removing the old fuel injectors and the old fuel line because we're not going to reuse any of those. The main advantage of E85 is it's a lot more stable than gasoline, meaning it explodes a lot more predictably. However, ethanol has less energy than gasoline does per gallon. But because we are able to shove so much air into our engine using our big old turbo, that means we can match that air with a lot more fuel. I sip up your milkshake. I gobble it up. This thing has 1,000 cc injectors in it right now. We are replacing those with 1,300, and that'll give us more fuel, more air, more power. Yee.
All right, here's what we have for a fuel pump. This is a Walbro 525, straight out of a Hellcat. 525 means it flows 525 liters per hour, which is a bunch. Should be plenty for our needs and should be pretty easy to install. So, let's do it. Okay, here's our sending unit, which is comprised of the sock, it's like a pre-filter, the fuel pump, then we've got a post filter here, and we've got our fuel level sensor here that just floats with the amount of gas in the tank and sends a little signal to the needle on your dash.
Oh, that fuel looks clean in there, dude.
Dude, it clean in there. It clean in there. The truth is, you know, when we originally built these cars, I think we always thought that we might convert them to E85, but even if you're not going for E85 right now, but you think you might want to in the future, you should give yourself enough headroom with your parts, which will mean spending a little bit more money up front, but then you don't have to spend it again. Consider the future of the car and build it appropriately. As a part of our fuel pump upgrade setup, what we need to do is basically pass power and ground through this lid. Normally from the factory it goes through this connector, but that's for like a factory size fuel pump. With our Hellcat pump and the amount of power that it draws, we can very easily burn these wires or this connector and then you don't have fuel anymore. So what we need to do is add these 2 studs to this lid. These will become our power and ground, and they'll seal up with these nice little washers. That'll allow us to feed our new big Hellcat fuel pump with all the power it needs, wants, and craves. Oh yeah, nice fit.
How much gasoline did you sneak, baby?
Oh, I am out of my mind right now, dude. Ah, god damn it. The wiring studs that we put here in the lid, I thought I would just be fine, you know, with where I put them. But they're really close to touching the edge of the tank. And I don't think they touch right now, but I really don't want to risk it because if the stud that's getting power touches this gas tank, it's going to short out. I just want to make sure that we don't explode. What I think I'm going to do is probably just use a file and move this edge back a little bit and just give myself a little peace of mind. I don't want anybody to explode.
Welcome back to James's Lube Corner. Gonna be really careful because real pain if you blow your O-ring. So you gotta use lots of lube. You gotta use lots of lube.
James did a really good job of getting the intake manifold and all the fueling components ready to put on the car. We've got all our new AN lines here. So let's slap this thing on, huh? How hard could it be? How does this go?
Oh, I forgot the gaskets.
This is cramped space. Before I put the rest of the hardware in, I'm just gonna kind of go around with a fine-tooth comb, make sure no hoses are pinched, make sure nothing's out of place, out of whack. Just, you know, make sure everything's in its home. Home is where the heart is. Whew. Bunch of shit going on under this hood.
Yeah, just remember, cars are pain.
Cause of pain.
All right, all our fueling upgrades are installed, and it's time to see if this thing will run.
I hope it starts.
It should.
Theoretically.
Okay, fuel pump's working, I can hear it. I didn't explode, so that's good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh. Battery dead?
Yeah, what's going on?
Battery dead?
I guess. All right, you ready, Gaby? Here we go.
That sounded good.
Sounded odd. Okay.
It runs.
She runs.
Let's go to the dyno.
We are out here at Yimi Sport up in Valencia to get the cars tuned on E85. Originally, the cars made what, Justin?
224 horsepower bone stock.
Ooh, and now, low car makes 325 horsepower, high car makes 405 horsepower, and we're gonna see a little bit of a boost here today, hopefully, safely. What do you think low car is gonna make first?
I'm thinking 375 for low car.
I'm also gonna play it a little safe. I'm hoping for 375. I think that's gonna be a ton of power in that little car. Over here though, Job and James did so many awesome mods to this thing. I'm hoping to see like 500 horsepower. I think that'd be amazing. Let's just see what we can do. Let's get in that dyno room.
Let's get started.
Okay, so Justin, I guessed 375 horsepower.
So did I.
Okay, so let's look.
Oh, no way! No!
Oh my God, I did not expect that at all.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Dude, it pulls like a taffy maker. So before we put it on corn, how much power did this car make?
It's making 325 horsepower.
And then after, how much does it make?
393.
That is almost 70
Almost
horsepower.
7, yeah, for an afternoon of work.
That is more effective than most things you can do to a car. E85 is sick.
Yeah, I love it.
Finally, the scientists did something right. After E85, high car made 474 horsepower. Almost 500 horsepower.
Almost.
69 nice horsepower difference. And apparently the ceiling is not even close to being touched. I mean, we're gonna start breaking stuff before we run out of power.
Yeah.
This transmission, those days are numbered.
Very, very numbered.
But again, I think we'll put something cool in it. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss us putting a very expensive transmission in this old dumb car.